71%. Microsoft surveyed UK office workers. 71% of them are using AI tools that their IT department never approved. Half of them doing it weekly. Now the second number, 76%. Well, IBM surveyed 2,000 companies. 76% just appointed a chief AI officer, up from 26% in 2025. I want you guys to read that one more time. Companies are building governance. Workers are building shortcuts. Both sides racing to redefine work before the other side gets there. That is the quiet rebellion, and it is already on. The only question is which side that you are on. Okay. Now, before we get into the data, the macro just shifted. On Sunday night, President Trump rejected Iran's peace counteroffer. His exact post, quote, totally unacceptable. Brent crude jumped above $103 overnight, up roughly 40% from pre-war levels. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu went on CBS 60 Minutes on Sunday, and he said the conflict is, quote, not over. Tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Central, April CPI prints live. President Trump departs for Beijing on Wednesday. Summit meetings with President Xi Jinping Thursday and Friday. Okay. And 9 days from now, 9 days from today, guess what happened with Meta? Well, Meta's first layoffs, you know, the ones that we're talking about from the 16,000 they said they're going to lay off. The first layoff wave hits. Now, here's what I got for you guys today. I got a biotech worker who wrote his company's AI policy. Then he broke it, turned 150 hours of work into 30 minutes. I got a 55-year-old banker who got laid off and built her own AI consultancy in 24 hours. I got a 29-year-old who went from $35,000 a year to $155,000 in 8 years. Okay. Also got a 22-year-old who just graduated from college, applied for almost a year, got 2 interviews. Okay. And I got a ladder climber who built something this weekend that runs 24 hours a day on its own server. Guys, I'm Antoine Wade. This is the Daily Climb. Let's look at the data. Let me show you what 71% looks like in one real story. Well, Business Insider published a piece this morning by Amanda Hoover. The title is called Don't Tell IT I'm Using Claude. You should check this one out. I like this article right here because it tells me everything that I was saying when I had my article on Business Insider. You know what I mean? Like, so I had an article that was written about me on Business Insider, okay? And it was in December, around Christmas time. And it was everything that I'm talking about and everything that we're going to talk about in this article, okay? The rise of shadow AI in the workplace. The man at the center of this story, his name is Greg Bays Brown. Greg Bays Brown helped write the AI policy at his former biotech job. He understood the technology. He understood the risk. He was the rule maker. Then he broke his own rules. He used an unapproved personal Google account at work to run a tool called Notebook LM. Many of you guys have heard me talk about Notebook LM inside of the Patreon. I started using it for recapping all of the Daily Climb shows so I can continue to build content from it. Well, he used a unapproved Google account at work to run a tool called Notebook LM. It's a fantastic tool. What used to take him 150 hours, he compressed it into 30 minutes. His exact words, quote, that minuscule risk of data going out, really small. But the chance of you being eclipsed by a Chinese peer, massive risk. That's what Greg said. That's exactly what Greg said, guys. Okay, that is one person. Now, let me show you the data behind the one person. Well, Microsoft surveyed UK office workers, and 71% said they used unapproved AI at work. Half of them said weekly. I think it's more than that. A security firm called Rico found this at mid-sized companies. There are 200 unsanctioned AI tools per every 1,000 workers. A 2024 Microsoft report found this. Nearly 80% of workers using AI were bringing their own personal tools. I want you guys to type shadow in the chat if you've used a personal AI account for your work or at work. Type shadow in the chat. I know you have. You don't got a lot. Type shadow in the chat, okay? Now I want you to hear from the experts in this article. Go back to the article. Leslie Nielsen is the Chief Information Security Officer at a company called Mimecast. Many of you guys have heard it. He describes shadow AI like this: death by 1,000 cuts. And people don't just understand it. Nicole Jiang is the co-founder of Fable Security. She said this, quote, "The shadow AI problem is worse than shadow IT. Companies are pushing for more AI adoption at a rate we have never seen before," end quote. And Harley Sugarman runs a security company called Anagram. His quote tells you exactly where this is going. Quote, "6 months ago, the conversation was, I use Claude because I think the output is better." That's what he said. Okay. Then he said this: new workers are seeking other apps that are more bespoke to their roles. Read that twice. 6 months ago, workers were picking one AI tool. Today, they're stacking several AI tools. If that doesn't describe some of my ladder climbers in the community, if that doesn't describe some of the people who's actually out there building, I want to play a video for you guys real quick that talks about what shadow AI is, okay? And I'm gonna tell you like this. My opinion, cybersecurity, they say, is one of the fastest growing fields that's out there. I think it's gonna explode even further. That's my opinion. Because as agents come online into companies, they're gonna need to be protected, okay? Let's listen to a discussion from a podcast called The Tech Trek by Elevano. And they're talking about shadow AI. Let's listen to this real quick. 90 seconds of it, excuse me.
On this episode of the show, I have with me Raj Koo. He is CTO at DTEX, and we're going to be talking about inferring intent in security. We're going to ask him what that means. We're going to talk about shadow AI and compare that a little bit to what we traditionally have heard about shadow IT, and talk about identifying and understanding intent within AI and security, and talk a little bit about the risks within agentic, inadvertently, providing information you shouldn't, because maybe you didn't know you shouldn't. And we will talk to him a little bit about time shrinking in detection, but it's becoming more expensive in some ways. We'll ask him what that means. And I'm sure that we got a whole host of other things to get in there as well, Raj, but thanks for the time.
Thank you very much, Jamir.
Awesome. All right, before we start, tell us what you guys do at DTEX Systems.
Yeah, so DTEX, we're one of the market leaders in insider risk management. We've been doing this for over 25 years now. And what's unique about how we look at insider risk? We look at the foundation of intent behind the action somebody did. So, 100%. And we say, don't let the term fool you. It sounds very similar. Shadow IT and shadow AI, they sound very, very, very familiar. They're all about bringing unauthorized tools into the enterprise. But that's really where the similarity ends. With shadow IT, the typical IT manager or cybersecurity manager, the general approach was, I've got to sniff it out wherever it is, and I've got to block it, and I've got to prevent it, and I've got to get it out of my organization. The difference with shadow AI and what we're seeing is employees have formed these almost emotional bonds with the tools that they're using. They're treating them as an extension of themselves. This is my team. If you want to hire me, then you've got to hire my team. And that emotional connection with tools means individuals are much more likely to preserve those tools and find ways to get them inside the organization than they were with shadow IT, where they would, they'd eventually potentially adopt the enterprise tools, the approved tools. But
shadow AI, bringing your own tools to work, letting your own tools do the work for you. That's what I want you guys to understand, what shadow AI is and shadow IT. I know there's, complicated terms behind it. It sounds complicated, but all it is you having your own set of tools that you use and you using it for work, although they haven't been authorized for you to use for work. That's what shadow AI is. Now, here's the line. from the Business Insider piece that tells the whole story. It says, quote, the race to be a top worker today may require breaking the rules. That's what it says. And this is not me saying it. This is what is in the Business Insider article. I want you guys to type waiting if you're still waiting on your IT department to approve something that you want to use. Type waiting in the chat. Now, on Friday on this show, we talked about a company called Cloudflare. Cloudflare CEO Matthew Prince admitted AI usage at his company jumped 600% in 90 days. That was the sanction version. The version that we just covered, the shadow version, the unsanctioned version is bigger, it is faster, and it is already ahead of you if you're not in it. This month, Microsoft made something called Agent 365 generally available. They said it would help companies, quote, take control of agent sprawl. Translation: the cat is out of the bag. These companies know that you are using other tools inside of their company that they have not authorized you using it and authorized you to use it. They know. So they're bringing tools inside their company to see what is going on. And here's what this means for your career. If your company has not approved a single AI tool, you are a 0-2 worker competing against 3-2 workers, 4-2 workers, 5-2 workers. If your company has approved one tool, you are still being outshipped by people using 3 or 4 tools. The middle is gone. You either build the stack, which is your own stack of tools that you are comfortable using to get the work done that you want to get done, or you lose the lane. That's how it's working today, guys.